Hey everybody, today we will do another math problems. And today basically we will do one more problem using the definition of the derivative, and then we will continue with the easy way. The definition of the derivative is it's a good practice, just in case your teacher says, I want you to do it with the definition of the derivative. And also it's a good understanding because it gives you a good practice of, algebra basically. But we will do another method. It's the easy method, but by the way, it's called the power rule, right? So basically, I'm not gonna go over the definition of the derivative anymore, right? Because we already done a couple problems, but we will do what's called the power rule, right? So the power rule states that a function f prime of x, right? It can be reduced, right? It can be some book says a and then x, right, to the n minus 1, right? Some of the books stay like that. In this book actually they have a c on, right? It's the same thing. It's the c, right? And also has an n inside of it. So we will do the way the book states, right? So it has an n and an x, right? Just like that. What the book actually says is the following. The following says that, let me just do this like, okay, let me just do it like this, right? It says the following. If, right? So it says if, right? If f of x, right? A function, regular function, equals c x. Let me just write it as the book states it. X. Okay, cx, all right, 6x to the n. If a function is written in this form, then f prime of x, which is the derivative, equals c n x n to the minus 1, right? In other words, if c is a constant of x to the nth power, then the nth constant comes in front of the x, right, and gets multiplied by the constant, the coefficient, and then that raised to the power n minus 1, right? So that is one of the, that is the definition of this, right? So let's do a quick problem. Let's do matter of fact, let's just do this problem from the book, straight from the book. So it says find the derivative, right? So find the derivative derivative of the following function, right? Right, find the derivative of the following function, right? So, and that function is f of x equal to minus 5x squared minus, no actually not, plus 8x plus 2. That is the function, right? So they asking me to find the derivative of this function, right? Now, to do it this way, it's very simple, right? To do the definition of the limit is more complicated, but we will do that. So here, we will do the following, right? So here is the following. So we will do the definition of the derivative first, which is what? Which you can say that f prime of x, whatever, right, is equal to minus, right? So remember that it's minus 5, so don't forget that. Minus 5, right, times what? Times x plus h, right? Square plus a times x plus h, right? Plus 2, right? Minus, right? So here I put a bracket just to tell me that I am dealing with this piece right now for the meantime, right? So let me just put a basic parenthesis here, that get the parenthesis and that get the bracket, right? So, but I gotta be careful here. I gotta be careful not create some type of confusion, right? So this minus 5 here, right, is just multiply this. It doesn't multiply the whole thing, just this piece, right? So now, minus the whole function, well, when I minus the full function, I gotta take into account that this has a negative sign in front of it, and I get minus x squared plus 8 plus 8x plus 2, right? And that everything over, right? Everything over what? Over h, right? So when I do this math here, when I do the mathematics here, I will get, right? I will get something, all right? So I will get something that will cancel somehow some of these numbers. That is the whole goal, right? So what I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to distribute. I want to keep that negative, but I want to do 5 is negative, and I want to do what? I want to do x plus h times x plus h minus plus. So I distribute that, and I get what? 8x plus 8h plus 2, right? Now, actually I don't need that. So now I am distributing this, but at the same time I gotta distribute that sign across, right? So if I distribute that, this becomes a positive, right? So that becomes a positive. This account becomes what? This 5 becomes 5x squared, because negative times a negative give you a positive, And then this negative distributed by that is equal to what? That is equal to minus 8x, and that is minus 2. Right? Now that is being taken care of, this part here. Now what I'm going to do is distribute this set of parentheses, right? This is square, the square that I brought in here, right? So I'm going to do that, and that becomes what? Let me just put a set of brackets here, and then a set of parentheses. Something that looked, actually no, let me just do it the way that I had it. Right? So x, right? Now if I multiply that, x is x squared, this times this is plus x times h. Or you want to do also, if you want to keep things, you can say hx, right? Then this times this is going, h times x is just basically h times x, right? And then h times h, of course, is h squared plus h squared, right? And then everything here, everything is over h, right? So now, let me see. Let me just move this h because I need some room here. This h can be anywhere here. It doesn't matter, right? So, okay, so it's going to be kind of messy. It's going to be a kind of messy work. It's a lot. All right. So when I distribute that 5 across, right? So, and this becomes what? 8. So that becomes 8. That becomes plus 8x plus 8h plus 2, right? And then this becomes what? This becomes a plus 5x squared minus 8x minus 2, right? Now here, remember, when I add this two, that becomes what? Let me use a different color. That becomes what? Becomes 2hx, right? Now my goal is to distribute this negative 5 across inside this parenthesis, right? Now that I added hx, right? I got a 2hx. I can multiply that across, and I get what? I get negative 5x squared plus this, right? Alright, so that is negative times a positive is going to be equal to what? Minus 10hx, right? Then I get what? I get minus 5h squared, right? Then I get plus 8x plus 8 plus 8h plus 2, right? Plus 2 plus 5x squared minus 8x minus 2. Everything under h, right? So basically, it's a big mess. I should cancel things out, but before I got to this point, but we can still do it, It's So we can cancel this, right? This 2 and this 2 is gone, right? 5x squared plus 5x squared is gone. And plus 8x and negative 8x is gone, right? Now, what I am left with? I am left with this, 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 and this, which is what? It's negative 10 hx, right, minus 5h squared minus 5h squared minus 5h squared, right? This one. And then here I get, so I already got this taken care of, this, and this. Now we're gonna do plus 8h, right? So I got that taken care of. Now all I have to do, that's it. Yeah, so those are the 3 terms, right, that I need to have on the top. And the bottom I should have simply h, right? Okay, so thing, we just doing this problem, right? The book doesn't say, the book they want me to do this rule, right? But I am doing the definition of the limit, right? So let's assume, right? Let's say that the limit h approaches 0, right? All across. Limit h approaches 0. I am doing this just for extra practice in this definition of the derivative, right? So limit h approaches 0, right? So now look at this here. I can factor out h out, right? And that becomes what? Becomes h, right? H comes out, that becomes 10x, actually negative 10x, negative 10x, that is a negative 5, negative 5x, actually no, it's h, negative 5h, right, because I am factoring out 1, so negative 5 negative 5h plus 8, right? Now this gets what? Gets over what? Over h, right? Now we can cancel this, right? And then the slope of the line is what? Is negative 10. Actually, not yet, because I need to substitute the value for h, right? So x minus 5 h plus 8, right? So now when I evaluate at h approaches 0, when I evaluate that at h approaches 0, then I get what? I get negative 10x, right? Minus 5 times 0, because h approaches 0, plus 8. Now this 10x is the slope, right? And plus 8. Okay, so that is actually the slope of the line. That is S prime of x, right? Now let's do this using the basic power rule, right? Very simple, very simple. We will do that very quick. So we notice that, so we say that f prime of x is equal to negative 10x plus 8, right? Now, let's do this using the power rule, right? Let's do it using the power rule. Okay, so first I want to go ahead and do some basic derivative techniques, little quick, right? So the derivative, you can say, you know, the derivative d, right? D of 0 or d of 1 or whatever with respect to x is what? Whatever, right? So the derivative of a constant, of any constant, is 0. The derivative of x, the derivative of, let's say, you can say t or whatever here, doesn't matter, right? So derivative of dx dt, right? The derivative of x with respect to t or y with respect to t, doesn't matter, is equal to x, right? The coefficient of this is 1, so it's going to be x, okay, so 1, and the power is also 1, right? The power of x is just x, right? So the power of x is just 1, so it's minus 1, right? But the coefficient is still 1, right? So that c becomes a 1. So basically, and then if I take 1 away from 1, it becomes 1 times x to the 0 power, and any number to the 0 power or any variable to the 0 power is 1, right? So the derivative of like function x, right, is basically 1. That's it. Now that becomes a constant, right? And if you think about it, what is the slope of this? What is the slope? Well, the slope should be the changing of this x, changing y over changing x, which is basically is a 1. It's right there, right? So that's why the derivative is 1. Now, the derivative of a constant is 0, right? So now, and why I say that, right? Why I say that? Because I have constant here, right? So automatically this will drop to 0, and I will take the derivative of this 2. This is 0. This is just automatically go to 0. We have derivative of constant is 0, right? So here, this is the following, right? So that negative sign stays in the same spot, right? So now this 5 comes, this 5 stays right there, right? Now n, what is n? Well, I can say that c is equal to negative 5. C is equal to negative 5 in that formula. C is equal to negative 5. N is equal to 2, right? Fair enough, right? C is equal to 2, which is, I'm sorry, N is equal to 2, right, here, and Z is equal to negative 5, right? So what I do here is the following, right? So this number here comes to the front, right? And I multiply that by 2, right? So then I do the following. After I bring that in front, right, I keep the X right there, and I do power, which is 2, the N is 2, right? Right? So the N is 2 in this case. N is 2 minus 1. So when I minus 1 to this, right? And then here the same thing, right? So here I just say, what is 8? 8 here, well, I'm sorry, C. What is C? C is 8, right? So actually, let me just do this in black, right? So here C is 8. N is what? N is 1, right? So I bring N to the front, and I multiply that by 1, right? N is 1, and I say 1 minus 1, right? Now, but remember, let me just do this clear because, right? This is a very simple process. After you know this is it's very easy. So I keep the X. Actually, you know what? Let me do the X in black. I keep the X, and then I say the following. Actually, I should have a multiplication here. Let me just make this clear, right? Because it might not be clear for a lot of people. So here I will be multiplying this by X and then to the nth power minus 1. Same thing here. I will be multiplying that that 1 times X 1 minus 1. Now here what? Okay, here what I get? I just get 0, right? We got a definition, right? So this basically just, you don't have to do anything. You can put plus 0, but doesn't make any difference, right? It doesn't make any difference on it, right? So now, in this case, when I subtract that, in that I get negative 5, right? And here I get what? I get, let me just do it. So here I get what? I get negative 10 x, right? And 2 minus 1 is 1, and any number to 1 power is that number. So I get to the 1 power, right? I just want to make it sure that it's clear. The 1 power. And then here I get 0 power, right? So here I get what? I get plus 8 I get times, okay, x to the 0 power, correct? Well, but we say well, any number to the 0 power is 1, right? So x to the 0 power is simply 1. So now this becomes any number or letter to the 1 power is just that number. So that becomes just x, right? And the final answer for this is negative x plus 8. See? Very simple. Very simple, right? Very simple. And that's f prime. See, we got the same answer. We got the same answer using two different methods, right? And that is the whole purpose of this exercise, to actually use the power rule to take the derivative of the function and use the definition of the derivative, and you saw how messy that was because it takes a lot of work, but also you can get it done, right? But at the same time it's easier to do it this way, right? Here, all you have to do, okay, the derivative of that is, you bring that to the front, subtract 1 is negative 10x. This is just 8x. I'm sorry, this is just 8 because you subtract 1 minus 1 is 0, 8 to the 0 power is 1, and that becomes 8, right? So this has been the exercise for today. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, and that's it. Thank you for watching.